Good morning. You are listening to the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Let's go to the voice of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
Good morning. This is the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig, voice of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles and the sports director at KYNT, joining you here this morning in our KYNT Studios, 1019 Broadway Avenue, sponsored by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab. The coaches join us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. The coaches joined me yesterday, as they always do in the spring. A lot of weekend games, all right? But I do appreciate their time catching us up on Yankton Bucks and Gazelles athletics. Full show today. We have track and field, tennis, golf, baseball, softball, the full works right ahead of us here today, so we won't waste much time. We'll take our first break, come back, and let's start talking Yankton track and field. Coach Jeff Gross. This is the Coach's Corner on Yankton's home team, KYNT.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer, research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
FNBO is the great big small bank, and for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com, member FDIC.
Hello, here's to welcoming moments, big and small, embracing the unexpected, savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
Truxedo, a real truck company, has new job opportunities for you. We are searching for motivated candidates to fill a variety of roles, including production assemblers on our Wednesday and weekend shifts, as well as an industrial engineer and mechanical engineer. Truxedo offers a positive and team-oriented environment with many perks and benefits. Come seek the new opportunities Truxedo has for you. Visit truxedo.com/careers to apply. And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig, Yankton Track and Field. The ESD meet today. Big day for Yankton High School Track and Field. One of the big events they mark on the calendar. One of the final events of the season. And to some athletes, just as important as state. You know, ESD, a very proud conference across all sports. And track and field, no different in that regard. Best of luck to the athletes up in Sioux Falls, well, Brandon, excuse me, but sometimes I still just say Sioux Falls. Up in Brandon today. But I did catch up with Coach Jeff Gross yesterday. Gave us a quick preview of the ESD as well as talked about the Howard Wood relay results. Here is that conversation taken from yesterday morning. All right, let's turn our attention to Yankton Track and Field with head coach Jeff Gross. We're recording this Friday morning for our Saturday morning show. Coach, good morning.
Good morning. Rain this morning, and hopefully that holds off tomorrow when this airs, that we have some nice dry conditions, at least for a while up in Brandon, and then it can rain all at once on Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Here's some rain. I was going to say that. I said Mother Nature has done it again, and we have the Howard Wood relay results to talk about, the ESD preview, as you mentioned. But first, the little Bucks and Gazelles meet on Thursday canceled due to weather. If it's not the winter, it's the spring. This is just not a good year for Yankton High School athletics versus Mother Nature, is it?
Yep, Mother Nature always wins that stuff, and we had a lightning in the area during track practice, and we tried to hang around for a little bit for that, and we had another lightning strike, so we just dismissed the kids. And it looked like at the time, hindsight's always 20/20, but it looked like at the time that was going to continue throughout the entire evening. But then, of course, it actually turned out to be a pretty nice night. But we had some people stop by, and we had some disappointed kids that I got to visit with a little bit as they came to the event and were disappointed. So that's fun too, though, in a weird way that, they were excited about it. But we will have those events again next year, and just keep that on your radar screen for the upcoming years to come. So great opportunity for the kids, and sorry we couldn't pull it off last night.
Hey, Kirby's too young for it yet, Coach, but she's already in training. She's getting ready, so she's excited too.
Good.
So.
We need some pole vaulters. So with some of the gymnastics background in her genetics there, we can hopefully get her over the bar.
Sounds good. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the Howard Wood relays. Those are up in Sioux Falls. And I can just go through the results if you wish. Or how do you want to do how we usually do?
Yeah, just some highlights would be good, and then we can move on to the ESD.
The boys medley team consisting of Austin Goebel, Rugby Riken, Nate Schoenfelder, Dylan Payer. They posted a time of 3 minutes and 33.38 seconds en route to their victory. I'm going to go ahead and set the table for you to talk about them, Coach.
Yep. We've been trying to take a poke at the medley relay all year long on the boys' side. We've got probably 6-8 different guys that can be in that lineup at any given time. Those happen to be the 4 that were just lined up best for the event on that particular day. We had run the same event with a different lineup up in Mitchell on the Tuesday prior to that and broke the school record as well, but we had a slight issue and got disqualified for that. But I was hoping by this time of the year we'd have broken that record 4 to 6 times. By the time the end of the year rolls around, we'll probably do that again. That time posted is an absolute phenomenal time. It's about 3/4 of a second off being off the top 10 list in all-time state history. Those guys can better that time, and other lineups that we have can also better that time. So that's a favorite relay of mine. Just in general, I like the sprint and the distance aspect of it, and the middle distance. It just kind of shows all around team depth in my mind. And our girls are going to be able to take a whack at taking a nice run at a medley relay here in the upcoming events as well. We're probably not going to be able to run it strong at the ESD. We just don't have quite the depth on the girls' side that we have on the boys. But though, anytime you can break a Yankton High School track and field record, there's a lot of history here, both on the boys' side and on the girls' side. And yes, that was a fun thing to see them get to stand up on the podium. They were the only boys AA relay that won a relay from South Dakota. Everything else was pretty well dominated by the North Dakota schools. So that was the only relay that a South Dakota school won. So that was kind of cool as well.
Another top 8 finish, Dylan Payer's 7th place finish in the boys 1600.
Yep, Dylan had a really good weekend, setting him up for this ESD and for the state meet coming up. We're going to ask him to do an awful lot at ESD tomorrow, Saturday. And he had a very similar schedule at Howard Wood, and if he was able to pull that off and have the success there that he had in the 3200, the medley, he also ran a great time. Our boys were the top finishing 2-mile relay team from South Dakota. We got 3rd overall, lost out to 2 Bismarck schools, but they ran a phenomenal time, those 4 boys. Dylan Payer, Oliver Dooley, Carson Conway, and Nate Schoenfelder. And then Dylan also ran a really nice time in the mile. You couldn't have run more mileage than he did at Howard Wood. And to do it as competitively as he did was just outstanding. So proved to himself, proved to the coaching staff once again, I think, that he's, going to be able to do what we are going to ask him to do at the ESD track meet on Saturday.
Tierney Falk finished third in the girls triple jump.
Yep. Tierney actually competed at both Howard Wood and at the O'Gorman meet on Friday. So she got a lot of jumps in. She won the long jump over at O'Gorman. She got third in the triple jump at Howard Wood. I think she got sixth in the long jump at Howard Wood. I kind of lose track. I haven't thought of those results for a while.
There's a lot of results in front of me.
So many different things going on. But she did exactly what she needs to do. She ran the hurdles nicely. We have two other girls hurdlers that did a nice job, and we're hoping can finish highly at ESD as well, in Olivia Dimmer and Kiera Christ. So all those girls are primed and ready to go, as well as our boys hurdlers, with the ones that we're kind of depending on there are Cody Oswald in both the 110s and the 300 hurdles on Saturday. And then Cale Hazelhorse also, hopefully we can sneak him into the 110 finals as well.
Sakshay Rumsey took sixth in the girls 400. She was also a part of the relay team of Sydney Cirque, Olivia Dimmer, Gracie Gutzman, they all in the 1600.
Yep. Shay had a great weekend. I sent out a text and a video right after Howard Wood to our team. Shay was down by about 60 meters when she got the baton. And I'm not exaggerating that. It was absolutely unbelievable. The runner that she caught was somewhere between, if you're familiar with a track and field situation, she was somewhere between the football goalpost and the 300-meter start. So it was all of 60 meters that she had to make up on her, and she caught her right at the tape. She ran an absolutely great leg. Her effort there was just exemplary of what we want to do. So big shout out to Shay and to our girls mile relay on that particular event.
And that brings us to our ESD preview, Coach. Hopefully, right? Weather depending, but that is in Brandon.
We will have the ESD meet come rain or shine. It's kind of like the postman. It's going to happen and it gets delivered. So
obviously, you're hoping for dry conditions, though.
I'm hoping for conditions that favor the Bucks and Gazelles. And if that happens to be dry or that happens to be wet, our kids are going to compete. So whatever gives us the little advantage, I am happy with that. I know our kids are tough and are going to get the job done no matter the conditions.
How is it up in Brandon for track and field events? Obviously, your long coaching career. How is it up there?
They have a great facility. I have not been to a track meet there since they put in the artificial turf, so that's just going to add to the convenience of things. You don't have to worry about mud or anything on the infield, so that makes it kind of nice. The layout of their venue is very nice. They, have hosted state track meets there for decades, so they've kind of upgraded things as the years have gone by and have done a great job of, the long jump is right there, just a little bit outside the track, shot put, discus. The javelin is the only little issue. They throw that at a middle school a few blocks away, but other than that, everything is right there within a 1-minute walk from everything else. So it's a very convenient, very nice facility. It's in the middle of a neighborhood, kind of tucked in between the school, and the trees will be blooming there right now. Leaves will be on the tree, so it's nice and kind of confined in there. It gives a nice atmosphere for a track meet.
And how is the mental attitude of the team? Obviously, all year you talk to them. I mean, is there even much left to say? This is one of the final destinations of the season. It's what you worked all year for.
No, they probably get sick of me talking once in a while. So we had 3 previous coaches come in from Yankton High School, and they came in and spoke to the kids kind of about the history of the ESD earlier this week. Dan Fitzsimmons, Jim Miner, and Luke Yeomans all came in and kind of told stories a little bit, just to kind of set that table of even more so the importance and the tradition of the ESD that we have in track and field, both, Yankton High School being a part of that tradition, and then just the general tradition of the ESD as well.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, Coach. Best of luck to the Bucks and the Gazelles. Final thoughts from Coach Jeff Gross.
Nope, just excited. We're ready to go, and it's going to be a fun afternoon and morning and into the early evening, and just be following along in the paper next week, and hopefully we get to see the results we want to see, and the kids will do their best, and it's going to be a fun day.
All right. Thanks so much for joining me, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
Let's go to Jeff Gross, Yankton Track and Field. The ESD meet is coming up. We'll be talking all about it as the week rolls along. This is the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Again, that was Coach Jeff Gross joining us yesterday morning in preparation for the show today. Went over some Howard Wood relay results as well as a quick preview of the ESD meet. Again, today in Brandon, best of luck to the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles. They've had one heck of a year. Hopefully it shows out again in conference play today. We'll take a break here on the Coach's Corner, Yankton's home team, KYNT.
Spring is the perfect time of year to start upgrading your home. And what better place to start than with your garage doors? This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Home improvement season is here. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
Olson Pest Technicians is a family-owned business since 1966, and with over 50 years of pest management, they understand your issues, and their well-trained team will help you solve your pest problems. Issues with cockroaches, ants, bedbugs, bats, termites, spiders, rats, mice, or other creepy crawling pests? Give your home a fresh start and use the proven method of fumigation to take care of your pest problem. Olson's Pest Technicians will thoroughly get rid of pests so you can rest easy again. Call Olson Pest today, 800-KILL-BUG. That's 1-800-KILBUGS.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please move forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. CoreTrust helps your business thrive with checking, online bill pay, small business loans, credit card processing, local approval and support for government grants and loans, investments to grow your hard-earned assets, and insurance to protect them. All from CoreTrust, the community bank that's right down the street and everywhere you want us to be. Visit CoreTrustBank.com today.
Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig from 1019 Broadway Avenue. Yankton Bucks tennis just wrapped up their ESD conference meet. Did an excellent job, came in second place. The defending state champion Yankton Bucks now turn their attention to, well, just that, the state tournament in Sioux Falls, the 18th and the 19th coming up. I was able to catch up with Coach Ryan Haig yesterday afternoon for an interview in preparation for the show here today. We'll jump right into that interview. All right, let's start talking Yankton Bucks tennis here on the Coach's Corner, being joined by Bucks head coach Ryan Haig. Coach, recording this on Friday. Good morning to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So the ESD tournament just wrapped up just a few days ago, really, and second place finish for the Yankton Bucks. That's a good performance in a very, very tough conference. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head. Our conference this year is very, very evenly matched. There were a number of teams that going into the tournament we knew would challenge for a title. Harrisburg being the favorite, I think, all year, but definitely had not solidified themselves as the first place team by any means. But Yankton, Watertown, Mitchell, Aberdeen Central, Huron, all those teams, if they play their best tennis, definitely have the opportunity to sneak up in the placements. There's no doubt about that. And we play in a fantastic conference. There's an awful lot of good competition and very, very good parity in the conference. There's no one individual or no one individual team that is out of it from the get-go. So awesome tournament. We look forward to it every year. It definitely kicks off our postseason for us, and it kind of tunes us up and gets us ready for the state tournament.
Before we go over to one of the victors of the ESD tournament, I have a couple of others I want you to talk about. So Christopher Rockney and Jack Peterson were the consolation champions in Flight 2. Luke Muller and Ethan Marsh fell in the consolation championship of Flight 3, but good performances from them.
Yeah, those guys are all very young, inexperienced guys. All four of those guys you mentioned was their first ESD tournament. So, very, very green. But they went into the tournament, with their eyes wide open and they were able to, play very, very well and at a high level. I think that Jack and Chris probably played their best tennis of the season at the ESD tournament. They've had their struggles throughout the season, just kind of meshing and blending into a competitive two doubles team. And, it's very, very competitive. When you're playing two doubles, I mean, that's, you're playing against some of the team's better players. And, those guys, they're starting to come together very, very well. They're starting to communicate with each other very well. And they're starting to figure things out. And, I think, this experience at the ESD tournament combined with the experience that they will get at the state tournament will help propel them into a very successful 3 years together, hopefully in the next 3 years. So very happy where they're at, very happy with how they're progressing, and look forward to watching them play here in the next several years. And then at three doubles, we've had about three different teams for our three doubles, just with scheduling conflicts and things like that throughout the year. And so Ethan and Luke, I think were playing, when they stepped on the court for the first time at ESD, I think it was their fifth match playing together all season long. So, doubles is something that you have to work into. It's something that, you have to have a feel for what your partner is going to do, and things just have to kind of happen automatically. And that just doesn't happen by itself. And so for those guys to kind of come in and play their fifth match of their season together, and play at a level that they played at and be very, very competitive, I was extremely excited and extremely proud of those two guys, the way they handled themselves on the court. And, they played very well, very well. Just looking forward to those two guys too, and watching them grow and develop as tennis players on the court here the next several years. As all four of those guys we just mentioned are just freshmen.
And then taking home the doubles Flight 1 championship, Zachary Briggs and Harrison Kraski is doing what they've done all season long.
Yeah, those guys are, they're very in tune with one another. If people remember 2 years ago, they were the ESD and state Flight 3 state champions. And then, of course, last year we split those two guys up, Harrison playing at three doubles and Zach was playing at one doubles with Gage Becker a year ago. So we brought the team back together this year with a graduation of many seniors a year ago. And, Harrison and Zach, although they didn't play together last year, very familiar with one another. They're good buddies. They have a good time on the court. They just work very, very well together. They went in as a number one seed, and they definitely proved that they were the number one team as they played very, very well in doubles competition. And, they beat a very, very tough team in the finals of Harrisburg, and they beat a really tough team as well in the semifinals with Brandon Valley. And those two teams, when you talk about the ESD, when you talk about Harrisburg, and when you talk about Brandon Valley, the very first thing that comes to mind is doubles play, because those guys specialize in doubles, and they are excellent doubles teams year in and year out. And we knew going in we'd have to beat both of them to take home a title. And for those guys to do that, it just shows that they're going to be a very competitive team going into the state tournament, and they're playing at a very high level right now.
Speaking of the state tournament, McKinnon Park and Sioux Falls, May 18th and 19th. Coach, all season we always talk about, hey, we're at the quarter way of the season, halfway, the three-quarter. Well, we're here. The state tournament is here. How is it playing at McKinnon Park? I've asked you that earlier in the year as well, or in years past, I should say. But how does the court feel? How does the team feel at this point as the ESD just wrapped up?
Well, it'll be at two locations this year. It'll be at McKinnon Park as well as Tomar Park, which is a brand new facility just on the other side of the interstate of 229 from Sioux Falls Lincoln. And so we've played at Tomar Park one other time this year when we played Sioux Falls Christian and Sioux Falls Lincoln, and that is a 12-court complex, brand new this season, and it is a beautiful place to play. And when you take 12 courts there combined with the 8 wonderful courts at McKinnon Park, and you have 20 courts to play on, hopefully if the weather cooperates, the tournament will run very, very smoothly. And I think our guys are ready for it. They're excited about the postseason. We've got some good leadership on the team with Zach and Harrison and Miles, and they'll make sure that they have their teammates, their younger teammates, less experienced teammates, ready to play. So the facilities are familiar to us. It almost feels like home to us playing in Sioux Falls anymore, and I'm pretty excited about the opportunity to showcase Yankton tennis in Sioux Falls.
Well, if the 2022-2023 school athletic year has shown me anything, Coach, the weather will never cooperate, but we're hoping for the best.
Yeah, keep your fingers crossed.
Yep. Coach, on a personal note, including Yankton High School Athletics, it was just announced you're taking over as the Yankton Gazelles tennis coach coming up in the fall. First of all, congratulations on that. Very exciting news for the Gazelles tennis program. They've been under great leadership before, however, but can I get some thoughts from you on that?
Yeah, for sure. Vanessa Rockney decided to kind of step away from tennis for a little bit. She has been instrumental in the development of tennis in Yankton, along with Mike Briggs. Vanessa has done a wonderful job just molding these young ladies into very high-level tennis players. And, she's leaving the program in a better place than when she took it over. And, she should feel very, very proud of that accomplishment that she has done. And for me personally, it was just a good time to kind of make a change. I believe I've been coaching middle school football for maybe the last 18 years or so, give or take. And, it was just kind of at the right time. I wasn't out looking for the job, but when Vanessa announced that she would be stepping away, and, I got to thinking that, 18 years of football, maybe now is a great time to change and just, look for, other challenges. And, the program is, off and running, and, it's just kind of set there for me to kind of step right in. And I'm familiar with the girls that are on the court. I think they're familiar with me. Of course, the Kratzky girls, I coached 2 of their brothers. They're very familiar with me, and they're 2 of the leaders of the Gazelle program. So, hopefully it'll be a fairly seamless transition. I think Vanessa and I have very similar philosophies in coaching and things like that. So, just very excited and happy with the opportunity to step in and watch a little bit more tennis than just in the spring. Now I get to watch it in the fall. So I'm pretty happy with the opportunity, and I thank the powers that be for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Coach, and good luck to the Yankton Bucks, the state tournament. Again, May 18th, 19th, both at Tomar Park and McKinnon Park in Sioux Falls. We will cover those results. Coach, good luck. Thanks for joining me.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Again, that was me catching up with Coach Ryan Haig yesterday afternoon in preparation for today's show. Congratulations to the Yankton Bucks on their second place ESD finish, and best of luck at the state tournament. Again, May 18th, 19th, Tomar and McKinnon Park in Sioux Falls. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Do you have dry, sore, or irritated eyes? If so, you may have dry eye. At Vision Care Associates, we offer a simple, fast, and non-surgical procedure to treat black glands in your eyelids that can help your eyes to feel comfortable again. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Fieser to find out about dry eye treatment with our newest technology.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
At Triple Time Rudy's, you get convenient access to quality fuel products. Plus, you'll also find quality South Dakota products like Dimmock cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. With a local-friendly feel and unique product offering, Triple Time Rudy's is your local convenience store that supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all of your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, pull into Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
Buying or selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you may make in your lifetime. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and I'm ready to help guide you with professional advice from before the listing until after the close. Not only will you get real estate knowledge, but also we provide moving boxes and an enclosed courtesy trailer to help make the move just a little easier. Call me today at 664-5555.
And welcome back to the Coaches Corner. We're going to start talking Yankton Gazelles golf. I caught up with Coach Brett Syme on the Pizza Ranch phone line late last night in preparation for this show. Gazelles had just finished up their Mitchell Invitational. We'll jump into that conversation I had with Coach Brett Syme. And let's start talking Yankton Gazelles golf with head coach Brett Syme here on the Coaches Corner, recording this late Friday evening. Coach, you just got around one of the storms, and those have been rolling through, but you were able to get another golf competition in Mitchell. We'll get to that soon. Well, actually, we'll talk about it now. You've had two different competitions in Mitchell this week alone. Let's start with Tuesday, the Marchand Cup, and that cup is going to Mitchell for now. Gazelles fell 17-3. Why don't you just talk quickly on that one, Coach?
Yeah, we ended up getting beat pretty good, but Mitchell is a real quality team this year. They're one of the best teams in the state. They've been just about every tournament we've played in. They've either been first or second. They weren't today at their own invite, but they were third. So we'll talk about that later. But they're always right up there. Them and Aberdeen Central seems like they're 1 and 2 in just about every tournament, or right around there. So we knew going in that it was going to be tough to retain the cup from last year, but we were still looking forward to going up and playing. And if nothing else, we knew if we weren't able to come out of there with a victory, we were going to get a look at the course that we were going to play on Friday too. So that was one of the big things that I talked with the girls, is make sure that you're paying attention to what the course is playing like, because we're going to be coming back up here in 3 days and playing in the Mitchell Invite. But the girls went out and they battled hard. It's just we were playing against a team that's playing pretty well right now, and we did get beat 17-3. But I did see a lot of good things as we were playing. The girls really tried to compete. It was just Mitchell on their home course. They were tough, and I got to give them a lot of credit. Like I said, they're a very good quality team, and I think they didn't like getting beat last year, so they came out guns blazing to try and get that trophy back. And we'll have to try and do the same thing next year when it gets to be played at home for us.
And then last night, as this is playing, up in Mitchell again, this time for an invitational. Why don't you, and why don't you go ahead, Coach, and go over today, again, Friday's meet up in Mitchell?
Well, yeah, I was kind of wondering what that meet was going to hold for us weather-wise. It was they were really talking about good chances for rain and everything. And as soon as I got up this morning and took our dog out for a walk, it was raining on me there. And I was about ready to take the Suburban to go get the girls, and the sky opened up and it was pouring. So I was wondering really what we were going to get. So we were driving up in the rain the whole way, and then about 10 to 15 miles away from Mitchell on the interstate, it kind of quit, and it never rained again until we were on our way back home. So we got a little bit lucky. Got a decent day to play. Our course was playing a little bit soft. So I think because of that course played a little harder. I even had the Mitchell coach asked me, he goes, why'd the course play so hard today? And I said, because it's a longer girls course, and it was playing soft, which makes it even longer because the ball's not going to roll as far. And I think that was the case for for a lot of the tournament because, just about everybody was thinking that their scores were a little higher than normal. And, maybe us included, we were hoping to maybe be up in that top 5 or 6. We ended up in 9th place, but as I look at the scores, we ended up shooting a 374, but 6th place was 361 Brookings. And, that's 13 shots. Now that might seem like a lot, but when you're counting 4 scores, it's really not that much. And that could be cutting down a 3-putt here or there, or, maybe not hitting a penalty area, playing away from the trouble. And just things that we need to work on going forward, or, maybe trying to get a putt to the hole so we can make sure to make it instead of being short. Because, I've been talking with the girls. If the putt doesn't get there, it can't go in. So that's one of the things that I'm trying to get them to be is maybe a little bit more aggressive on the greens. We don't want to run it way by, but, we want to give it a chance to go in the hole. So that's some things we're going to work on here in the last few weeks of the season. I know it seems crazy. It is a crazy time of year, but we've only got basically 3 weeks left of the season. But, a 9th place finish in this field wasn't bad. 18 of the 19 schools were there. I think Douglas was the only one that was not there. Some of the teams didn't have full teams, so that's why there was only 17 teams showing up on the score sheet, and Mitchell JV had a team that was playing. But we were led today by Ellia Homestead with an 85. She's kind of been our solid number 1 player all year long so far. Sabrina Kraske shot 92 in a tie for 38th. Ellia Homestead actually did end up getting in the top 15 with an 85. Elsie Larson shot a 96, and Madison Reichen shot a 101 to round out our counters. And then, to round out the team, Jordan Cunningham shot a 116. We had 1 girl out due to illness, so we only had 5 up there. But you know what? Our girls went up and they tried hard, but just like everybody else, they were having a hard time finding pars. And I think it was because of maybe some of the wet, softer conditions, and girls were having to hit longer shots into greens, and it just it was giving people a little bit of trouble. So hopefully we can come out next week. We only have 1 tournament next week, which will kind of be a nice break for some of the girls. Only 1 varsity tournament. There is a middle school tournament on Tuesday up in Mitchell. But, we only have 1 tournament. We are getting to the end of the school year. So it'll be nice for the girls to get kind of a almost full week of school in before we've got to take off that next week and miss 2 out of the last 3 days of school. But, the 9th place finish, maybe not quite where we wanted to be, but we were close enough, to see that, we can move up some spots if we play a little bit better. And, we've seen in some other tournaments that we can get into that top 6 when we're playing well. So we've just got to really hone in on some things here. I really think we got to work on our shorter game, from 150 yards in. I was talking with the girls that, especially from at least 100 yards in, we've really got to try to concentrate on getting down in 3 strokes. It's, it might seem, easy to people that have golfed a lot, but if we're inside 100 yards, we want to be able to put that ball on the green in 2 putts, get the ball in the hole, or if we just miss the green, we want to be able to get up and down, for the 3 shots from that range. And if we can really start doing that here in these last few weeks that we've got, I think those scores are going to come down, and we're going to get more and more competitive with some of those other teams. But, Aberdeen Central and Mitchell, they've kind of distanced themselves, and Rapid City Stevens played really well today. They ended up in 2nd place. They even beat Mitchell at their home course. But Aberdeen was too much for everybody. They shot a 323. They got a really solid team, and I would have to say odds-on favorites for the state championship and probably the ESD conference championship the way they're playing. So we'll see how things go, but we got a few weeks left here. We're just going to keep trying to improve and work on some things that we really need to work on, and hopefully by the time we get to the conference and the state meet, we can be playing at our best.
Yeah, and the ESD meet the 23rd, as you had mentioned, at Watertown's Cattail Golf Course. Coach, you haven't golfed there this season as far as I can see, but you've obviously gone in the past. How does that course usually play this time of year?
It'll be interesting. I actually talked to their pro on it'd be Thursday, it'd be yesterday as I'm talking to you today, but on Thursday, he's a fellow guy from Britain, South Dakota, like myself. He's actually a classmate of my brother's. They were on the same championship golf teams back in Britain, South Dakota, and he's a pro at Cattail. And I was setting up a practice round for the Monday before the conference, and he said the course is not too bad a shape. He said there's a few things that they're working on, just like every golf course. You know, it was a tough winter. You know, there is a little bit of winter kill maybe, but he said the course came through it pretty good. And he said they had a little bit of irrigation trouble, had some pipes break and stuff like that because of the harsh winter that we had. But, you know, he said he thinks the course will be ready here in a couple of weeks when we go up there, or a week and a half, whatever it is. And, you know, just looking forward to it. We're going to go up on Monday and play a practice round, try and get ready. Watertown does have an invitational on Tuesday, but, you know, like I said, I didn't really want to add a meet with coming up to the end of the school year. The girls need to be in school a little bit. I know we're going to miss 2 of the last 3 days, but, you know, that can be made up. But I think the girls need a chance to be in the classroom this week. And then we'll go up Thursday, play in Brookings. And Brookings is always a fun course for me because that's kind of where I actually played my college golf for SDSU for a couple of years. And so I've got some pretty good knowledge about that. And, you know, hopefully the girls can go up. It's definitely a shorter course than the Mitchell course that we played, you know, the last couple of times. And I'm hoping we can go up and get some good scores in on that course, because the distance that course plays is very comparable to what we're going to be playing at the state tournament in Pierre. Pierre was a little bit shorter course too, and we had some good success there earlier this year. So I'm hoping we can go up Thursday, put together a good meet, and have that propel us forward into the conference and the state as we go towards the end of the season.
Can't believe how fast I should say that it is moving, Coach, but we'll keep an eye on it. Always appreciate it. I'm glad that you were able to keep, you know, quote unquote dry throughout the latest weather fiasco we were having.
All right. Thanks a lot, Bryce.
Again, that was my conversation with Coach Brett Syme last night on the Pizza Ranch phone line, immediately following the Gazelles Mitchell Invitational participation. Thanks to him for joining us. We're going to go ahead and take a break here on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
First Dakota National Bank has been paving financial futures since 1872. But when it comes to supporting a community, it takes more than experience. Financial planning takes a personal touch, which is why we offer a wide range of customizable options for personal, business, and ag banking. We've been doing banking longer than anyone else, but we're first because our goals have never changed. Helping local communities plan and reach their financial success has and always will be what we're here for. Member FDIC.
You feel awful. Stuffy nose, then runny nose, the sniffles too. You don't know what to take to make yourself feel better. This is Michael with Yankton Rexall. When you feel under the weather, you want relief, but there are a lot of over-the-counter choices. Some may even interfere with daily medications you're taking. At Yankton Rexall, our staff is here to help you make the best choice for your health. Yankton Rexall, your hometown pharmacy since 1923, located in the Meridian District.
There are a lot of benefits for your small business when you have a relationship with your locally owned and operated The UPS Store. I'm Doug Frederick, manager of the UPS Store of Yankton. Not only do we provide excellent customer service, but we also provide the necessary tools to help your small business thrive. We can help you with everything ing, printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs, even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, every ing for your small business, and of course, shipping. The UPS Store of Yankton, across from Walmart.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
And welcome back to the Coaches Corner. I caught up with Coach Jill Muth of Yankton Gazelles softball yesterday before their matchup with Brookings at Northwest Field Sertoma Park. I do have the result of that game, but for, chronological purposes, I'll wait till the end after the interview. But this is before that matchup. Coach Jill Muth, Yankton Gazelles softball. All right, let's start talking Yankton Gazelles softball, being joined by Coach Jill Muth. We are recording this Friday afternoon before the Gazelles have a matchup at Sertoma Park here in Yankton. Weather permitting, of course, right, Coach? The weather is going to be the number one topic from winter all the way through spring.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a few nice last couple weeks that we haven't had really too many weather issues, but definitely today and early in the season, it was definitely a hot topic for sure.
Well, the season is coming down the last stretch. Just a couple of more, 2 or 3 more regular season games, 3 as I'm looking at the schedule now. Yankton currently sitting in 6 in the standings, and I know that you and the team probably aren't looking too closely at that. That's my job. But every game matters throughout the season, but now we're going to see a lot of movement in the standings after each game.
Yep. We did talk just a little bit about it yesterday, and I just said, we have told the girls we have 3 games left. There's 3 really big games. All 3 teams are seated above us right now. And I said, if we want to host a home game, I said, we probably need to go win at least one of those 3 games. So I said, we got our hands full here the next few games. And so we need to make sure we're focused in and go do what we can do.
As this interview is playing, it'll play tomorrow morning or Saturday morning. The game will have happened, hopefully. And it was scheduled to be senior night, but of course that honor is being moved to Tuesday, May 16th versus Sioux Falls, Lincoln. I guess it's just really important to try to have senior night on a little bit of better weather, right, Coach?
Well, yeah, and just with the possibility of this not necessarily, happening, and we just wanted to make sure we were going to get to have senior night, we just decided to move it, which is why we originally scheduled it on the second to last home day, just in case this situation happened. And
then it did. So good thing. So Brookings, Sioux Falls, Lincoln, and Sioux Falls, Jefferson, you mentioned each of these teams seated above the Yankton Gazelles. And you and I talked when we first started the season, Coach, about just how talented we really thought this entire class was going to be in the standings. And it really has proven true. A lot of competition in Class AA.
Yeah, absolutely. We have, I told somebody yesterday that there are for sure 10 teams that can make the state tournament, and end up in those top 8 seeds and host. And really all 10 of them are good teams, scary for anybody at any given moment. So, we're really hoping to end up in those top 8 so we can play a game at home and then, go see if we can win our way to state. And once you get there, find out what happens.
You've gotten really great consistency offensively from the team, a 406 average, and most importantly, a 485 on base. You just have to be really happy to see just not only the high numbers, Coach, but the consistency in which the team is achieving them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been hitting the ball really well. That was part of our conversation yesterday. I said Brookings is giving up about 2.5, 3 runs a game, and we're, hitting 400. So I said, it's going to be a battle of, their pitching and defense versus our offense. And I told them not that our defense is an important part of the game, but this is, going to be fun to go see what happens. And that's, why we play these games. It's fun. We enjoy doing this, and we like going out and competing and seeing where we're at and playing with, our friends and our teammates. And we enjoy that part. But, obviously it makes it a little more fun if you can get some wins out of it too.
I love softball and baseball analytics, so now I'm looking at pitching. And Grace Burns, who obviously is just taking the mound for the majority of the season, and a 5.3 ERA is very good considering the high potency offense a lot of these teams possess. But most importantly, a 1.97 WHIP, walks and hits, innings pitched, just really going to show her consistency on the defensive end.
Yep. That's really going to be a key for her. If we can keep from giving freebies with walks and hit by pitches, that's really going to help our defense. That's really going to help keep the runs that we give up down. And that, you're going to give up some hits, you're going to give up some hard hit balls, and that happens. But, if we can keep from, minimizing at least those girls getting on base just by walking, that's going to definitely make a big difference for us.
Well, Coach, we will, on Saturday, again, after this interview is done playing, I'll talk about the game that did happen or didn't happen, however this goes. But always appreciate the time that you take, and we'll see you on senior night, all right?
All right, sounds good, Bryce. Thanks for your coverage. We appreciate it.
The Gazelles did end up losing the Brookings matchup 14-0 at Sertoma Park yesterday early evening. The Gazelles varsity softball team is now 11-5 on the season and are still holding on to one of those top 8 SODAC 16 seeds. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Spring is the perfect time of year to start upgrading your home. And what better place to start than with your garage doors? This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Home improvement season is here. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer, research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig, 1019 Broadway Avenue. Start talking Yankton Bucks baseball, as we usually do on the Coach's Corner, because we cover the Yankton Bucks throughout the season in the broadcast booth, at least at Riverside Field. We're going to go ahead and play our post-game interview with Coach Drew Lawrence following Yankton's two-game split with the O'Gorman Knights earlier this week. They do have more matchups this weekend. We'll talk about it. But here is the immediate reaction for Coach Drew Lawrence following a Game 1 loss, but then a Game 2, 3-0 victory over O'Gorman.
Coach, congratulations on a great second game victory. Let's talk Game 1 really quickly. Just kind of one of those close battles. Bats kind of struggled to get going early.
Yeah, we kind of struggled a little bit. It was a really big zone. I thought for both pitchers. I thought for Drew and for their guy, they were getting strikes called that weren't strikes. Now, when you face a guy that's really good and has velocity and can throw his off speed like that kid could, that Danny Brink could, when the zone is big like that, it's hard to compete. So we did the best we could with what we had, but we did get in some good counts at times where we got in some 3-1 counts and 2-0 counts, and we did hit the ball hard. It just happened to be right at people. Matthew Sheldon was really unlucky today. I think every at-bat except one, he smoked the ball. And I don't know if he ended up getting any hits, but sometimes that's the way baseball works. So, and then defensively, we gave up 2 runs where we probably shouldn't have. We had a play at the plate where we just dropped it. And then their second run all started with a 2-out double on an 0-2 pitch. So, that's just a mental part of the game that we need to focus on. But it's hard to ask Drew to not – you can't give up any runs, Drew. Like, it's hard to say that. Like, you only gave
We
up –
need you to pitch a perfect game.
Right. So it's hard to do that because he went out and did a phenomenal job. I mean, he gave up 2 runs. One was earned probably and continued to do what he does. I know he ended up getting the loss, but – we don't really care. That's not really a big stat anymore as far as you go all the way up to Major League Baseball. It's more about ERA and whip and all that. But, yeah, that was the first game.
And then a nice rebound in Game 2. We'll stay on the mound. Isaiah Skelhaus and then Mark Cottle coming in relief. So I'll start with Skelhaus.
Yeah, well, Skelly's a guy that we knew was one of our dudes, and he was last year, and he just had an ankle injury and hasn't been able to get enough innings. If he had been able to throw from the beginning of the year, he probably would have finished that game on his own. But, it's really only his second outing, I believe. So he got up into the 70s, and we wanted to get him out of there. And Mark, I didn't know if we were going to go with Mark or Lucas there because Lucas is our closer or a guy that comes in and throws hard. But Mark looked so good in relief the first game, I figured we might just roll him back out. It was good that Mark was able to have a good outing because his last outing he got hit up pretty good against Jefferson in relief. So it's good for him to get back into the ways that we expect him to do.
Mac Reich and Lucas Kamshoff on a tear offensively for the Bucks tonight. Just what do you see from their at-bats?
Well, I mean, they're the main reason we ended up scoring some runs. I mean, those 2 hit. Otherwise, we, from the top to bottom, even the second game, we kind of struggled at the plate. We tended to get ourselves out a lot that second game, but, Lucas is continuing to impress. The wind's blowing straight in here, and I don't know if you mentioned that, but that ball's a home run any other day of the week. From the elevation that he hit on that double, that's a home run, and he's just been continuing to do it. And Mac, I didn't want to move him from the 9-hole. I like keeping him down there, but we had to because he's been producing. But he's a competitor, and he's going to go in there and compete, and he does a really good job for us.
Your Yankton seniors, obviously senior night, a great night for them and for the families to recognize their dedication to the Yankton baseball program. Do you have any, I'm going to put you on the spot, but do you have any words you want to share about the seniors?
Well, this is a special group of seniors. It has been for each group that you've talked to. Coach Haynes really spoke on it throughout the season, but this group is something special, and I'm lucky that I get to have a little bit of a last ride with them as far as the other coaches are concerned, and it's fun. They're a special group. It's fun, and we get to do this season, we get to do the summer season, and they're going to be missed, but they're not gone yet, so we still got them.
Some road games to finish out the regular season. Of course, we're all going to be. I'll do it for you. I'll keep an eye on the standings the rest of the year. Okay, but
it doesn't matter.
But you start with Brandon Valley Friday, and then you finish off with a couple of Sioux Falls schools. You have Lincoln and Jefferson.
Yep. So we're going to head up there. Hopefully, apparently every weekend it's going to thunderstorm or rain. So we'll see.
That's the theme of the year.
We'll see what the weather is going to do. But yeah, those will be tough games just like these are. And I mentioned that in our pregame that regardless of whatever one's record is, it doesn't really matter when you come to high school baseball and you come against playing Sioux Falls schools. And don't get me wrong, we want to host a playoff series, but it all really matters who you match up with, because you can match up with anyone in the state and you could lose the game, and that's anyone. I don't think that there's one team that's head above shoulders the rest. So I think there's about 10 teams to 12 that can go out there and win any of these pools that will happen when it comes to postseason. So all those games will be tight. We're just excited to keep playing, and we want to keep competing. And so hopefully we can play on Friday against Brandon Valley. I know they got a tough squad. And then Jefferson, I'm excited for that one because I felt like we should have won both those games here. And so we get to play them again. So it should be fun.
Again, that was Coach Drew Lawrence joining us on the post game, following earlier this week's 2-game split with O'Gorman Knights at Riverside Field in Yankton. Weather permitting, Yankton has 3 games on the road this weekend up in Sioux Falls, and I'll tell you, the standings are getting tight. Yankton needs, I don't know, I'm not a mathematician. I always say that, but I really do think they need a couple of victories this weekend just to maintain, control their own destiny of hosting in the regions, maintaining one of those top 4 spots. So Monday morning on KYNT, Jeff will have those standings for you. I'll make sure of it. And we'll also be posting on social media, kind of letting you know what's going on with the high school baseball playoffs. We'll take a break, come back here on the Coaches Corner on KYNT.
Bring the crew to Pete's Ranch in Yankton. This is Annie, and we have legendary pizza and chicken just waiting for you on our buffet. Let us know what you're craving, and we'll make it fresh and bring you the first slice. Or let us deliver right to your front door. Your locally owned Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway, 665-1222.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
Are you new to the Yankton area, or have you lived here your entire life and just bought that house in the corner you've loved since you were a kid? Have an agent that lives, works, and raises their family right alongside you. You may know me. I'm Skylar Sherman with Missouri River Associates in Yankton. Give me a call or even stop me in the store, and let's set up a time and make sure all of your insurance policies are right.
Missouri River Associates, 605-665-6885.
And welcome back to the Coaches Corner. I appreciate you joining us here this morning from our studios at 1019 Broadway Avenue. It is always appreciated. Thanks to our sponsors for making this possible. Most importantly, thank you, the viewer and or listener on KYNT, KYNT-TV. Always appreciate your support. And for you, just supporting Yankton High School athletics in general. This town is amazing, and covering these teams is amazing for me. Happy Mother's Day to those that are blessed to be mothers this Sunday. Had to write that down in my hand so I don't forget. I think my kids are a little too young to take care of Mother's Day festivities on their own, considering one's 2.5 and one is 1 month old. So mom's getting things from them. See the sacrifices that dads make? But hey, you know what? It's not about dads. Happy Mother's Day. Nah, she deserves it. She is the greatest mom I know, including my own, but my mom is a rock star. My mom actually does listen to this show from Rapid City, so I love you, Mom. Go Bucks, go Gazelles, go enjoy the rest of your weekend. This has been the Coach's Corner. I'm Bryce Ladwig on Yankton's home